uh-oh, somebody's in big trouble. Because we just got an insane leaked image of all of the characters in Avengers Doomsday and what they're officially going to look like in the movie. Thanks to promotional images from the cast and crew of Doomsday themselves. It was an inside job. And I can feel it, I can sense it, I can taste it in the air. They're cooking. But not only that, we also got some insane story details, hints, and teases of the teams and dynamic for Doomsday, as well as some very interesting updates for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And y'all know me, if I get a little bit of crumbs, I'm gonna make a 10-star meal. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. And boom, man, you know what? Doom! You looking for this? So here you can see the entire cast of Avengers Doomsday that was announced on Chairs Day in official promotional images stitched onto what looks like a sweater. I love how it looks like a character select menu from like Super Smash Brothers or like Mortal Kombat or something. By the way, out of all of these characters, which one are you choosing? So let's go ahead and hit that zoom and enhance and really analyze each of these images and the costumes they're wearing, because we got some updated costumes and they are fire. Starting off in the top left, we got Victor Von Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr., and it does kind of look like that promotional image we got from the China Expo that Disney had, but you can't really make it out compared to the other ones, but it still looks like a Doom mask, a hoodie, and you got the two like cape clips on his shoulders that you can barely see. I can't really tell if his arms are crossed or not, but it does kind of look like he has chainmail there. And again, I love how saturated this look. I don't know if it's going to be that saturated because in the promotional image we got from the China one, it looks a little bit more muted, but regardless, that's Doom right there. I'm giving that 2 big Dooms. Doom! Now, I feel like we can ignore Ant-Man and Sam Wilson because it looks like they're just wearing the same suits they wore in their last 2 movies. But now where it gets interesting is Thor, because if you go ahead and take a look at Chris Hemsworth there, he's got a nice little haircut just like he does in Infinity War. So you know when the Russo brothers get their hands on Thor, they fucking cook beyond belief, because I still think the best characterization of Thor was in Infinity War. And it looks like he's gonna be getting an updated costume as he's got gold plates on his suit. It looks very similar to this concept art that we got in the past. Now, I heard there were rumors that he was supposed to have a look that looked like the unworthy Thor, who does play a huge war in Hickman's Secret Wars run when him and Hyperion team up and essentially sacrifice themselves. So I cannot wait. It seems like Thor's gonna have one of the biggest roles in this movie, and he deserves it because it's one of the OGs. Put some respect on his name and salute. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the because their suits do look a little bit similar, but it looks like they have some cool little like space jackets going on. Like if you look at Pedro Pascal's suit, he's got a nice little white jacket over top. Sue Storm has like this little vest going on. But here's the thing. It looks like he just got the same suit on. I'm not gonna hold you. And it looks like Johnny also has a jacket. So at least like they're going somewhere cold or spacey. Either way, I love having Marvel's first family at the forefront of a Marvel cinematic project like Doomsday and Secret War. Need it, need more of it. But let's go ahead and move on to the middle group here because it looks very interesting. Now, obviously, if we take a look at the Thunderbolts members, we've already seen their look thanks to the post-credit scene of the new Avengers movie. And I love it. I absolutely love Bucky's look. I love how it evokes Colin Kelly's Revolution suit with the red star on the right. And actually, it looks like David Harbour's gonna be wearing the same suit from Thunderbolt. And Yelena also has a slight upgrade. They probably all got the little New Avengers logo on their shoulders. It does look like Shuri's suit is still similar, but a little different. I was hoping they would give her the fur because I really love that look from the books. Maybe give her some more purple accents, but the gold is tough. Can't really be mad at it, to be honest with you. It looks like Shang-Chi is getting a whole brand new suit. Might even look like a robe. I was hoping and praying that it would be the black and red concept art that they had for Shang-Chi in the past, because that look to me is fire. Ideally, there would be more gold and red and black, just like how he looks like in the books. And again, it looks like Loki is just going to be the god emperor of stories. Like I said, I think he's just going to be stuck in that damn chair, funny enough, because they announced all these characters on Chairs Day, and he's the MacGuffin of this movie. He is like the Beyonder replacement in Secret Wars. And taking a look at M'Baku, he pretty much looks the same too, except maybe he's got like a gold scarf. I can't really tell what that is, or a gold plated neck thing. Shit fire regardless. But what I really want to look at is Namor, because it looks like he's got a black suit on. I was hoping and praying they would give him that look because he looks dope as shit. And you already know Namor is going to be a demon. But now this is where I gotta say, because they fucking cook beyond belief with these X-Men suits, brother. Look at my dog Charles Xavier. They gave him a fucking sick ass jacket with the red X for the logo. You bought at the demon. If he dies again, I'm coming for you, Kevin. Gambit looks the same as he was in Deadpool and Wolverine. Nothing really changed there. But look at Cyclops. Oh my God, they gave James Marsden the drip. The blue with the yellow strap. Oh my God, I used to pray for times like this. Please, 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 shout out to Sabrina Carpenter. Give James Marsden his due justice in this fucking movie, bro. I need him to be moving different with his concussive blasts. Nightcrawler is perfect, bro. Alan Cumming, they gave you the perfect fucking Nightcrawler suit. They better give him his swords and shit too. He looks like he was ripped straight from the books. It's perfect. Perfect down to every little detail. Now I'm curious if it's just gonna be practical or CGI. And the same goes for Mystique here. It looks like they're giving her a classic white suit and a new haircut. Listen, man, that's elite blue milk right there. I will be seated day one no matter what. Now, as for everyone else, it doesn't really look like they got many changes between Joaquin Torres and Sentry. But it does look like Franklin's hair is going to grow a little bit longer. I'm assuming this is Franklin Richards and not Valeria Richards. I'm assuming they're going to be combining elements of both Valeria and Franklin for this movie, because he's one of the most powerful characters in Marvel Comics history. Now, the other interesting thing is we have Magneto and Beast up here, but we can't really see them. They're cut off by another piece of paper. But if I'm looking at Magneto's fit right here, it's comic accurate. We got the red suit. I hope he's moving different, bro. I hope he's moving like X-Men 97 Magneto. But regardless, that's all the updates we got for the suits. But now moving on to some very interesting Spider-Man rumors. And this comes from that redacted guy who is somewhat hit or miss. but he's got some stuff right in the past before, so we got to acknowledge him. One of the things he's reporting is that there's a considerable push at Marvel Studios to have Spider-Man interact with the Fantastic Four, possibly outside of the Avengers film. And all I got to say is that, Kevin Feige, you've been listening to me. You've been watching my videos, because what have I been saying? Give us the Fantastic Four Spider-Man Christmas special. I need that more than I need air. Spider-Man, to me, is the 5th member of the Fantastic Four, outside of Valeria and Franklin, obviously. But to me, when I think of Spider-Man team-up, I think Fantastic Four before I think of Avengers for real. Him and She-Hulk, most likely. On top of that, he revealed that Spidey and Daredevil should be crossing paths in future sequels, and I think, duh, everybody and their mama wants to see the two dudes in Reds team up, because I love that dynamic in the books, I love it in the animated series and everything I've seen it in, and I need to see it in live action. Charlie Cox and Tom Holland working off of each other would be incredible. And it just makes the most sense to have it happen now. Between Kingpin and everything that's happening in New York City, we need Daredevil in those conversations with Spider-Man. Make it happen, Sony and Marvel. I don't care. Because if it does happen, I'm going to apply the Kingpin method, the Wilson Fisk method. I find that a primal scream is the best way to release your emotions. Rah! And finally, he's also reporting that Venom and Kingpin are almost certainly the next main villains for Spider-Man saga in the MCU. Obviously, I can't wait to see what they do with Venom. I hope it's really comic accurate. And Kingpin, I feel like, was the ultimate end game. Like, he's the final boss because he's like in power and shit. And if this does end up being true, they're fucking cooking beyond belief, because honestly, what more could we want? Venom, Kingpin, these are villains that us Spidey fans really want to see done justice. I don't know if I got faith in the MCU to do it, but we'll wait and see. Now, the interesting thing is he did say Venom. He didn't say if it's going to be an MCU version of Venom or if it's actually going to end up being Tom Hardy's Venom. I pray to God it's the MCU's version. That's the assumption I had. And who would you want to see play Eddie Brock in the MCU? I always felt like Josh Hutcherson would be a good MCU Eddie Brock for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, really, Alan Ritchson in Another Life was born to play Venom. Regardless, I love Spider-Man. Moving on to the man with the horned cow. Charlie Cox said he would be thrilled to see Daredevil join the new Avengers in the MCU, saying he would be chomping at the bit. I honestly would love to see Daredevil interacting with this group of misfits. I feel like he fits in perfectly with the emotional aspect they've had in not only the Daredevil Born Again, but also the Netflix series. He fits hand in hand with those type of characters. Now, if we're actually going to see him make the jump to live action in a movie outside of being like a Spider-Man movie, we'll have to wait and see, because I'm pretty sure Brad Winderbaum, who runs Marvel Television, said that they want Daredevil to be their premier face of Marvel Television on Disney+. But regardless, we're going to see him team up with these characters sooner rather than later. I have a feeling. But those are all the updates we got about Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let me know what you got to say. What do you think of these new images, all the costumes we got, about all the characters that were announced on Avengers Chairs Day? What do you think about all the updates regarding Spider-Man and the potential of his MCU trajectory? I really want to know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about all this, my thoughts, theories, and opinions down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.